Ubisoft, massive, is making an open world Star Wars game. Now, I'm assuming they're going to make an open world Star Wars game like Grand Theft Auto and not a massive multiplayer like Star Wars Galaxies. Because, Star Wars Galaxies type massive multiplayer thing had problems, particularly with everybody wanting to be a Jedi. If they're going the Grand Theft Auto route, I could see it being very, very good game. Because here's the thing. If you watch The Mandalorian, and if you watch this channel, you probably have, you will know that The Mandalorian has a template that kind of resembles most open world games. That is, you go on quest. Just about every episode this last season, season 2, Mando would land on the planet. He'd be looking for something. I think in the first episode, he's looking for a Jedi or something. No. The first episode, he's looking for a Mandalorian. The Mandalorian has Boba Fett's armor. He doesn't want to give it back unless Mando helps him with a quest to kill a crate dragon. Mando accepts, and by the end of that episode, spoilers, if you haven't already seen this season, he gets Boba Fett's armor back. Then another episode, he goes to find a Jedi, and he meets up with a bunch of Mandalorians. They tell him they know where Jedi is, but he must first help them in a quest to infiltrate this Imperial ship, which he does. So it just goes on and on and on, and then he finds a Ahsoka Tano, and of course she makes him assist her in this quest to take the baby Yoda, and then of course she doesn't even take him. But that whole season, that whole last season, season 2, was a bunch of quests. And it pretty much set up what could be a viable way to make a game. Now, they don't reveal many details in it, but I'm assuming, as this article does, that EA, their deal with Disney and Lucasfilm is coming to an end, because I heard reports that EA, or I think they even announced that the EA had an exclusive arrangement with Lucasfilm to make games, and they did that with Battlefront 1 and 2. They did it with The Fallen Jedi, or whatever, and then recently with that Squadrons game. So hopefully this is a sign of things to come. I'm hoping that, yes, their exclusive deal is over, so some of these other companies can take a stab at creating Star Wars properties again. I'll be really, really interested to play this game. Now, that's assuming, of course, they don't go the route. I think they probably go with making the main character a Jedi. Maybe they should do what Grand Theft Auto 5 did and have different characters, 3 different characters, one a Jedi, one a bounty hunter, a Mandalorian bounty hunter, and the third maybe a stormtrooper or something, or a TIE fighter pilot, something along those lines. And somehow they're involved in this same little universe, interacting the way the characters from Grand Theft Auto interacted. If you remember Franklin and Michael and Trevor, their paths were crossing at different points, and sometimes they did heists together, and you could switch between the characters. I like that whole dynamic. If they could do something like that, I could definitely see this being a big deal. Here's one of the major problems. Grand Theft Auto is confined to one city, and it's basically an island. The problem I foresee is, how are they going to do multiple planets? Or are they going to do multiple planets? How are they going to do the space part of the open world? Now, I can go back a little bit to what they did with Star Wars Galaxies. The maps, I'm just reading here that there was originally 10 planets in Star Wars Galaxies, represented by approximately 225 square kilometers. Now, that made sense because you had thousands of people playing the game. Now, but if you're having just one player open world game, they're going to need to be a little bit less ambitious. I think they should make each world maybe, I don't know, 1 or 2 miles in diameter or something. Something very small. So you can get to a planet, you can explore it, maybe have 2 cities at the most that you, and they have to be kind of small cities. I think they would have to start small too. Maybe choose 3 planets that you can go to. Maybe Coruscant and Tatooine. You know, they're going to need something on the outer rim, something in the inner rim, or the core planets, and another planet. I don't know what that could be. Maybe Corellia, Naboo, something like that. But they could definitely do something with this. But it also depends on what period of the Star Wars universe they're going to explore. Is it going to be the prequel time period? Is it going to be after Return of the Jedi? Is it going to be before, A New Hope, between the prequel and the original trilogy? Is it going to be Force Awakens? There's so many questions that I haven't been able to answer from this article about it. But it is a good idea, I think. Their primary problem is going to be one of scale. You can't scale the Star Wars universe without things getting repetitive. So I just think if they could cut it down, like I said, have a few characters, but not over 5, no less than 3, I think could actually work. And then, of course, I think later they could even expand to an online multiplayer type thing the way they did. Basically, what I'm saying is they should follow that Grand Theft Auto model. I mean, that model has worked so well that Rockstar isn't even coming out with Grand Theft Auto 6 anytime soon. They're actually continuing this game on the PS5 when it started on the PS3. I think this is the first game in history that has been on 3 or will be on 3 consoles. So just my thoughts. If you read some of the comments on this article on Kotaku, you got a bunch of people giving ideas. Some people saying they should make it like the latest Assassin's Creed game, Valhalla, which I didn't play. This guy right here says Jedi are assassins, Sith are Templar. There are powerful relics and devices that could turn the tide of battle. I think that's actually a pretty good idea. If you think about the elements that make up a good Star Wars story or game, you got the Jedi, of course. You got the Outer Rim planets. You got the lawlessness. You got pilots and space battles and all of that kind of stuff. You got races. And if you think about it, Grand Theft Auto has all of those elements itself. Especially the races. You could race, you could go to strip clubs, you could go to a golf course. There's so many things they could do. So looking forward to seeing where this goes.